What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another video. Today we got the Ash 1/3 scale statue by Prime One Studios. It's two massive, very heavy boxes. That little one's a lot heavier probably as the base. I'm going to do this unboxing a little bit different. I'm not going to set up my usual table. I'm going to open it up, show you each individual part, and show it to you step by step. Let me know what you think of this unboxing. It's going to go right there. I just got back from a 4.5-hour flight, went to Cancun, Mexico for the week. I came home to this bad boy, so let's go ahead and unbox it. As you can see, two massive boxes, limited to 250. Alrighty, so here is the two art boxes, look the exact same. It did come with this instruction manual right here. 39 steps. And then advertisements. Gotta say, I love that Arnold. Waiting for hands to decide if I want that to go next to my endo. I have to move the Terminator setup though. So the boxes were very heavy, very difficult to get out. This one's 2-layer, this one's 1 layer. Let's see what's inside. Alrighty, so here is the base. So Ori has her in there. The friggin' zombie chick, Naretta or something like that, I forget the name. So we got that, and we got the deer antlers. So yeah, this is freaking huge. You can see next to my foot, this is an extremely, extremely big base. Like, it is really freaking big. All right, so first thing I needed to do is make sure the base actually fits. I know there's some parts that stick out in the back, but actually might not even display those, because the base touching the wall to right here barely overlaps by like a centimeter. And it fits just barely, like literally barely here. So thank goodness it fits. Now it is quite dusty. Look at all this dust. Before I even do anything with this, I'm gonna get my dust blower and dust this bad boy, because it's very dusty. Alrighty, so for right now, I'm just gonna be setting up right here. But again, this base is freaking humongous. So let's just check it out real quickly though, before we put anything on here. So there's some keys, obviously her, and not too much else that's, you know, because a lot goes on in the space, but that's really just what's on there. And then obviously we're putting everything on now. So per the instructions, we got to put that on first. All right, so I had to take that out. Now that thing is heavy and huge. Like, holy cow, that thing is big. It's 3 feet tall. You can see it next to a 1/4. It's monstrous. And you had to flip it over. And here we got a ton of extra parts. This is pretty much all the cabin parts. This is all the Ash. Now we can see the Evil Dead book. Here is what we need to put next. But yeah, this is everything left remaining, plus the 2 antlers. Alrighty, so step one was inserting that. Now that pegs in here at the back and then again on the head. So it looks like she's pretty much holding it up, which is really cool. And you have these chains and they are real metal. All right, next step is you insert this little piece into the chain to sort of like lock her down. Next is the Book of the Dead that just inserts via peg. Let's check this out real quickly though. So it inserts like that. Here it is. Frankly, it looks amazing. I love it. Very, very cool. Great shading, great detail. The pages look bent and weathered. Extremely nice. And it looks and feels big. Alrighty, next we added Ash. He inserts via a giant peg back there. And then I have him stepping over the chain. I don't know if it's supposed to be like that, but I like it that way, so I'm gonna do it that way. As you can see, he does not have any of his mixed media on. That is separate, which we can see right there. Alrighty, next is his right arm. And as you can see, they sculpted this extremely well, even though most of it's gonna be covered by mixed media. The texture work, the skin tones, the veins, all look excellent. We're gonna insert this right there in his right arm and the mixed media at the exact same time. Alrighty, so we have the arm in, we have the jacket on. Of course, we'll have to fizzle with that. This is just the preliminary. Looks like you have buttons to do and a lot to do, so we'll get that taken care of, but that's just the first step. So next, for the instructions, we need to tuck his shirt in, loop his belt, fix up the mixed media, add the straps, the heads, so quite a bit to do, so let's get to it. Alrighty, so basically I had to unvelcro the pants. No, he does not have a wee-wee. Tuck in the shirt, Velcro back up the pants, loop the belt back around and tighten it, buckle up the shirt, and these are just little buttons. They're easy to do, nothing difficult. And then I folded down his collar. Next, we gotta insert the strap that holds his boomstick. Alrighty, so we got all the straps on. Kind of a pain in the butt, but we got it there. So it basically comes in through this arm. You have to undo that piece, wrap it around, fiddle with this. There's this thing right here, like a hook. I don't know what, I need to rewatch the movie. I'm gonna watch it right after I get this done, and then this is the boomstick holder. It's real leather, at least it feels like it. So we'll just spin it around for you guys so you can see exactly how this looks. But it feels high quality. The mixed media feels high quality, so I'm definitely loving it so far. The most important thing though is gonna be that face. So we got 4 of them, so we'll have to see how that is, because it looks like the face is next. Alrighty folks, so I want you to get my raw reactions. I have not looked at any of these faces yet. So, you know, we can go ahead and see what we think. So let's check out this one. These are decent weight. Let's see. This is the eyebrow raised one. Okay. Mine's not nearly as bad as I've seen some photos. Not bad. Better in person, no doubt. Yeah, this is the one that always looked the worst. Now, let's check out that was definitely my least favorite of the heads. So let's look at this one now. Okay. So I believe this is the exclusive head. Yeah, it looks great. Definitely better than photos, I will say. Hair looks good. It's no prototype, but what is these days? All right, let's check out this is the head I probably like the most among the non-Prime ones. Let's see how it looks. Yeah, so it's more like a smirky smile. I do like this one. It screams Ash. So I'll most likely display this one or the next one. But there is a good look at the head. And the one that most people claim is the best, the Possessed exclusive. So let's check that out. Okay. I mean, it's definitely no prototype, but still looks really cool. Little bit of vein work in the eyes. The teeth are a little bucked. Still really cool. So it definitely is no prototype, but it does match similar Prime 1/3 head quality in terms of paint. You know, like this is as good as the Justice League or Suicide Squad. So it's definitely still very, very good. It's not perfect. It's not ECC good, but it is really good. You know, and we can do a quick comparison. For example, this head. You know, so this is older ECC quality. Then we got Pennywise, which has glass eyes and real hair. Now, I don't know if I'd want to have him with real hair, you know. I mean, I believe it's translucent resin. The eyes are painted very good and they have a good gloss to it. You know, like I said, it's a big 1/3. You know, look how big that head is next to Soup's. Wonder Woman. It's just as good as any of these. So for now, let's throw this head on. Alrighty, so here's the head on. Now, to get this head on, because they have such large, like, it's including a lot of the neck, you can't just swap it in and out easily. You have to undo this top buckle and then get it underneath the shirts. This is to avoid the seam line. Now, I gotta say, so far, I'm very happy. It looks really good. All right, so the next part is the shotgun boomstick hand. And again, just like the other arm, it has really good texture work, really good paint job. The boomstick looks great. Has some weathering, you know, looks just like a shotgun, obviously. Looks like the one I have upstairs. So let's go ahead and put this on that arm. And there we got the boomstick in. So next after this, looks like it just wants you to put the hand, the Candarian Dagger, the chainsaw, the antlers, and all this stuff on the roof. So let's get that done. Alrighty, so let's check out the Candarian Dagger. Now, I do have a life-size Candarian Dagger under there. This is the 1/3. Paint job's obviously different. I'll rewatch the movie, like I said, to make sure which one's accurate, but it looks like the same type of sculpt. But overall, it looks fantastic, and as you can see, it's a good size. So this you can really place anywhere on the base. So you can just place it anywhere on the base. And then the next item is this hand. Now this is sick. Oh my gosh, I love this. This is the hand that he had to chop off. Incredible. Look at that. Oh my gosh. This is really cool. I love this. So you could place that anywhere you want, just like that. That is so cool. I love that Easter egg. Now, because I use an air blower to dust, I'm gonna use a little bit of putty on these to ensure that they don't blow away whenever I dust. Anytime I have pieces you just lay on a base, I always use putty. But that is extremely cool Easter eggs. Love it. Alrighty, so now we have the chainsaw, which actually has a pretty good blood paint job. This is glossy, you know, especially at certain angles like that. It also looks like it's old dried blood, some new blood, even blood right here. It feels, I mean, I'm not sure what the material is, like maybe like a really hard resin. It doesn't have the string coming out, it's just tied up here. And where I remember the 1/4 had this string, but it has a decent amount of frickin' blood and some good weathering as well. And it has a decent weight to it. It's gonna connect here via magnet to that back arm. So we'll go ahead and put that on now, but overall this looks fantastic and feels great. Alrighty, so we got the chainsaw in, fits great, looks great. Now we just gotta build the entire giant back wall, which encompasses a lot of pieces, also the deer antler. So we're gonna just do all that. Let's just freaking complete this shiz. Giant back wall. All right, so we got the deer antlers on. Now this is a massive peg, incredibly strong magnet. And then these are quite tight, and they're a peg that goes in very tight, strong magnet. Looks really cool, huge. Alrighty folks, we finally have it all set up, and that definitely took a while. And that's the reason I didn't want to do me just standing there struggling. You know, I'll just take photos and videos after I, you know, get each part done. Now, there were a few hidden pieces that were on the opposite side of the styrofoam that I was like, where the heck are they? Luckily, in the photos, it shows where every piece is at, which I really like that Prime One did that. So this is not easy unboxing. It's definitely something that's a little bit more complicated, lots of pieces. You know, the one piece I couldn't find was this lock right there. And I actually bent the metal so I could insert the locks. I think that just looks more, I don't think it's set to do that, but I did do that because I think it looks better. Now there's a lot of pieces that go in this giant back cabin wall. And a few of the smaller ones in particular are for this back window. This piece and that piece. Now this does not attach to that. And I thought, is it in right? But then you look at it, it's missing nails because it's a broken window. And this one only has 3 nails, so it's missing a nail. you know, because the windows are always going in and out in that movie. So I love the attention to detail that Prime 1 did with this. Now this wall is freaking massive. It is so huge. You know, it gives me an idea of when I get Big Chap, which is about similar like wall in the back. This is the first time I've gotten a statue with a giant back wall. You know, most statues don't have a wall. It's just like a bottom base, where this is an entire diorama scene. And I gotta say, it definitely makes it special. It really recreates an amazing scene. I love everything about this statue. It truly is a masterpiece. So, yeah, on the back you saw the broken window. There's tons of detail in this base. The wood, it looks like a real cabin. Ash looks phenomenal. He's huge. You know, I'm talking like Justice League big. It definitely is going to fit in scale with the Pennywise and Reaper. Such an amazing piece. God, love it. Now, I haven't tried to lift it yet, but I'm pretty confident this is going to weigh about 70 plus pounds. Now, I got to also figure out if I want to keep that back door. Now, it does obviously provide that. If you remove it, you won't see that. So it definitely tells a story. It just makes so the base comes off a little bit more on the front if I keep it. So I'm going to try it now and see how it looks up high in its final resting spot. But you can just see how big this is next to Freddy and ECC Jason. This is bigger, especially with that back wall. That makes a big difference. It adds a lot of presence, and it's going to have a ton of presence up there. So let's put it up there. Alrighty, folks. So here it is. Now, I previously had this poster up there, but 99% of that poster is covered. I literally only see the deer and the evil Ash head. So I decided to remove it. I'm going to do something else above there, maybe just like a Evil Dead 3D printed sign. I just can't do a poster. I love this poster, but I'm going to have to move this somewhere else because it does not work at all. And I want to be able to view that because I love that art print. But here is Ash. Like I said, he barely fits. And I kept the door on, and it makes him come off a good 1.5 inches, which is not too bad. I need to fix it so I can put the movie back there. I need to get some things. But otherwise, it's not really, outside of the poster, wasn't blocking too much. And I can still see pretty much all the COAs. Doesn't really affect Pennywise. Outside, I had to move the movie. But this is a monster big piece, and I do think it looks better up high for a few reasons. The way his head is angled, it's just a slight tilt downwards. Viewing that really cool looking like deer antlers is something you want from up high, plus being able to view this from this angle looks really cool. Now, yeah, this thing is freaking humongous. And there is my life-size version, which has a similar style paint job, but the bones are more white on this, where that it's more subtle. And then that's a different version of the Book of the Dead, more like a custom version, where this is the authentic version. And I still prefer the authentic version, of course, but that one's really cool. But you can just see, you know, life size versus 1/3 scale. Now, this is definitely true 1/3 without a doubt. You know, look at the size comparison of Ash next to Reaper. You know, their bases are almost same height. They're about the same height, although Ash is slightly taller, because I think his base is just a tad bit taller than that. I'll need to do some measurements, but I do know to the top of the antler is like 38 inches. And he's like 26 inches deep, 24 inches wide. So he's definitely a beast. And I think he'd actually look fantastic next to the ECC, just because they have similar styled massive bases, although his base does feel bigger. Now, an ECC statue costs $2,700, where this was like $1,600 plus shipping of $200. I did economy. It shipped like January 21st, although I paid for it in December. Like the end of December, I paid for it. Shipped January 21st, arrived March 5th. So it took a little over a month and a week and a half for it to arrive once it actually shipped. But the whole process took, you know, over 2 months, not quite 3 months, but over 2 months. So economy is advertised 1 to 3 months, so not too bad. Now, no issues, thank goodness, because it took forever, obviously. Although there is like a few little things I'm like, what? You know, for example, like what is that little thing right there? I'm going to try to clean that off. Maybe a little towel and clean that. Otherwise, you know, no like actual breakages or anything. But let's just go top to bottom or bottom to top and look at it. So yeah, you have this 3-tiered black underbase to hold it up, which I do like. You know, I like having a little bit of an underbase beneath the main base. I just think it adds a little bit of class. And so I do like this 3-tiered black underbase. It also helps with the Book of the Dead, the Necronomicon here at the front and center, which is really cool. Obviously, that's the main storyline behind Evil Dead, is this Raising the Dead. So the book looks phenomenal. I love how it's actually detailed on the back as well. It's not just, you know, plain. They actually did the stitching. The pages look fantastic. I'd love if you could actually open it up and read it, but that's fine. It'd be sticking out. But the Book of the Dead looks fantastic. And then you have this base, and this base is reminiscent, obviously, of the cabin from Evil Dead 2. But the base overall looks fantastic. It looks like real wood, tons of shading. You know, you got nails. This nail's like folded. This one's folded. You know, definitely the nails are all wild. Now, the base has a ton of different shading all throughout. You got broken wood back there. Now there's blood that was dripping from the chainsaw on the ground and clearly over here. And I just put this right here because this was bleeding, like it ran away as well. So that's really cool. I freaking love that hand. I love all these little accessories. They're so cool. You got the keys with the lock holding the chains, the real metal chains. And then this creature, Henrietta, I think is the name. She has tons of battle damage. She looks fantastic. One eye's slightly closed, like she's struggling to push the door open, but has a scream. Looks fantastic. Paint is excellent. Yeah, and then back here, there's tons of like almost like termite damage to the cabin. You know, the window's been sealed. You can see all the different nails. Then you have this giant moose, which has a funny like bucktooth type of look to it. Looks great. Even has veins in the eyes. It's very heavy, very strong magnet. It looks great. I like how it's looking at Ash, because, you know, he had basically hallucinated that that was alive, or it became alive. I'm not sure which. Then we come to Ash himself. So, just fizzing with the pants a little. He has sculpted boots, mixed media pants. Now the pants feel like real pants I would wear, so they look and feel great. Now, I know some people, you know, there is his wound where he got injured. I actually want to try to show that because that's pretty darn cool. Yeah, I want to be able to see that. That's really cool where his shirt is torn. This one's completely torn off. You can see the great skin texture, him holding his boomstick, although he didn't call it that until Army of Darkness. Then the chainsaw, the shirt. And you can really fiddle with this how you want, although it's really kind of messy in the movie, so I'm just going to leave it like this. I actually really like that. And then I love this portrait. Like I said, it looks awesome. It is definitely a pain to change it out, and it will be a pain doing it this way, not be able to see too great. But yeah, it looks fantastic. Ash looks amazing. Definitely better in person. Definitely really, really good. Now, it's not Prime 1 quality, or I'm sorry, ECC quality. You know, there's a reason ECC costs $2,700 to $3,000. You know, it's really that portrait that makes a world of difference. Now, Ash is very good for the money, but when you compare it to ECC, where you have the real hair, the glass eyes, you know, if Ash had real hair and glass eyes, it would make a huge difference. Now, I don't mind his hair sculpted at all, to be honest. I like sculpted hair for the most part, although for Pennywise, you cannot do sculpted. It doesn't look good at all. But for him, I think the sculpt is fine, but I would have loved to have seen glass eyes, and then proto quality paint like on the blood on the face and everything. Now it is really good. I'd say it's about 8 out of 10 for the paint job on this face. You know, where the proto was a 10, and for me ECC is a 10 out of 10. The face is an 8 out of 10 for quality. Now the eyes look really good, they're just not glass. You know, look at that. And then look at that. You see the lifelikeness of that? Yeah, ECC eyes are insanely good. You know, I'd definitely pay several $100s more if I could get those glass eyes. I wish more companies would start using them on the 1/3 scales, because I do think they make a difference. But nevertheless, like I said, it's as good as any other Prime One piece in terms of detail. The mixed media is fantastic. The skin detail is fantastic. The entire base is just a freaking masterpiece. I love it. All the little Easter eggs are just amazing. I love this freaking hand. It is so well done. I love the detail, the freaking bones. Oh, it is so cool. You know, I love the fact you can just place these anywhere you want, but I like it like that. I think that looks really cool like that. So let's go ahead and change out the portrait now and do the possessed head, which is one reason I went through Prime One Direct, because you do get this head only by ordering through Prime One Direct. Alrighty, so here is the possessed head. So the possessed head, you know, he becomes possessed, and that's when he chopped off his arm. You know, there's a big part of it if you've ever seen the movie. Now, I am not an Evil Dead know-it-all. I've seen the movie a few times. I've seen Army of Darkness a lot more, because that's my favorite. I love the comedy feature of that. But I still love Evil Dead 1 and 2 and the HD the remake. They rebooted it. So here's the head. As you can see, it still looks really, really good. Not as good as the proto, but, you know, it is what it is. It still looks freaking awesome. So definitely happy I have it. I'll definitely display this. Let's get some good close-ups. There is some vein work done in the eyes. See the different scars in the face. So it definitely looks really, really awesome, no doubt. I don't know how often I'll be displaying this. I need to just have a real good look at it. I do love the fact you get 4 portraits. I think that's amazing. I love the fact that Prime One does that. You know, where a lot of other companies, you know, aren't providing 4 freaking heads, you know, where you got 4 heads from Harley. Although generally they may do 4 heads, but only like 1 or 2 is really good. The other 2 are like, eh. Personally, I'd rather just have 2 heads, but they're both extremely good. You know, than having 4 where 2's mediocre and you just never display it. You know, like, again, here's the heads. That was the original one we showed. Then this one's like the confused, what's going on type of head. It definitely reminds me of him. Then here's just like a pissed off head. Now this one looks fantastic as well. Now, I mean, they all look pretty darn good. Although I think I might like that one the most. That one and the possessed maybe. And then probably the angry, and then probably that one. So I'll probably display that the least. I'll display these 2, the exclusive, but I think that one's probably the best, and then the possessed head. So I'll decide, I'll look at the heads good and then decide which one I want to display. You know, I might just go with the one I had on just before for right now, and then just change it up regularly, because I do like to change up the heads, because I feel like it brings new life to the statue. But yeah, anyways, folks, for me personally, this is definitely a masterpiece. It is a 10 out of 10 overall piece. The presence is incredible. It's huge. I'm super happy to have it. It has a low edition size, 250. So I could definitely see this going for a lot of money in the aftermarket. Plus 2 monster big boxes that are very, very heavy, 50 pounds each. You know, the entire statue as a whole, when I lifted it, now I took off the deer and the Book of the Dead and the 2 little proximity pieces, and it was very heavy, very heavy. I would peg this at 50 plus pounds at least. So it's very, very heavy. Now, if you're a horror collector like me and you're doing horror 1/3, absolutely buy this. Must have. I know PCS is doing Army of Darkness version, which I'm sure will turn out fantastic, but this is Evil Dead, the whole cabin look with the arm and everything, the Book of the Dead. It can't be beat. I think conceptually, this is like 11 out of 10 good. This is one of Prime One's absolute best conceptually made pieces. If not the best. I don't know of a better conceptual piece than this. Detail is as good as any other Prime One, so you can expect Prime One quality. If you own any Prime One statues, any of these 1/3, any of these, that's the type of quality you're going to get. It's not ECC, it's Prime One, which is still absolutely fantastic. Now, the paint job is very, very good overall. The mixed media is perfect. I see no flaws in it. The base is very, very well done. The only thing I'd honestly improve is probably the portraits. Like I said, they're 8 out of 10. If those were as good as ECC, then this, would be freaking flawless perfect. But still, as an overall score, it's a grail, and it is 10 out of 10. And I foresee this being highly sought after, especially since there is a large Evil Dead following. And so I do foresee this, being sought after in the aftermarket. And I think it especially would look really good next to these two. Now, I won't be displaying it there just because I don't have a way of doing that the way I have this set up. But right here, it's like my centerpiece to this collection. And directly underneath, I got my props. As you know, I need to box that up. That's sold and needs to be shipped tomorrow. But I'll get the PCS Scream 1/3, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 1/3. Tomorrow we get Bane 1/3. Next week we'll be getting Big Chap, Facehugger Life Size. We got a lot of amazing statues coming in the next week. So do make sure that you like the channel, you subscribe, hit that bell notification. I'll be delivering tons of awesome content. Wasn't able to deliver content last 2 days just because I was in Cancun enjoying my anniversary with my wife ski. So we had a fantastic time. Love Mexico. Definitely plan to return. So anyways, folks, hope you all enjoyed this video. Like, comment, subscribe. Have a great day.